Health Consultation. Section 9, heart rate check. In the normative data you can see all the averages for heart rates and what they're classed as. You have athlete, excellent, good, above average, average, below average and poor. We did a heart rate check of the client and got 64 beats per minute, which is good. As you can see by the graph, they got lower than all the below average, average and above average, which is very good, which shows their heart is in good condition. We then did a blood pressure check. They got a systolic pressure of 129 and a diastolic pressure of 56. By the graph, you can see that their systolic pressure was ideal. However, their diastolic pressure was a bit low if you compare it to the low pressure, which shows that they probably need to do a bit of exercise to improve this. We then did a body mass index check, which is weight divided by height. It determines whether you are underweight, healthy, overweight, obese, or extremely obese. With the client results, you can see that they were on the level of underweight, possibly reaching healthy, which isn't too bad. Physically looking at them, they looked very healthy anyway, because the BMI isn't a very trustworthy test, but it's a good just a good start to see where you are at. Then we did a lung function check. This is just to show how good how efficient your lungs are. So we did 3 tests and took the highest one. The first one, the client got 475. In the second, they got 500. And in the third, they got 475 again. So we compared it to below average, average, and above average, and they got below average, roughly speaking, which is probably due to their past of smoking and current smoking. So if they cut that out, you would see improvements through that test. We then did waist to hip ratio check. This is waist divided by hips measurements. For the waist, we got 83 centimeters. For hips, we got 97.5 centimeters, which gave us a waist to hip ratio of 0.85, which is a good result, which is acceptable. And then if you compare it to the excellent, good, average and high, you can see that they got roughly the same as excellent, which is very good. Right. Then I made up a table of their evaluation of the slides and then some recommendations. For goals, they wanted to build muscle and they just needed to stay motivated for it, and they wanted to do it as soon as possible. So to be able to do this, it can easily be done as he knows what he wants to do, which is very good. As long as he stays motivated, he can easily do it with no worry at all. But he needs to keep to a specific regime if he can easily achieve what he wants to do in a short time gap. His current physical activity showed that he did exercises 0 to 2 times a week, which is okay, but it's not a great. He's been doing this for about 8 months, but he was regularly exercising beforehand, doing football. And probably reasons for this decrease in exercise were college, that he said. He's currently doing weights, but said he might want to move on to boxing, which is good. And he said he prefers team sports. So with exercising, he needs to be trained at least 5 times a week if he wants to build that muscle as quick as possible. And he would need to come up with a timetable to balance the college, social life and the exercise, so that he's not exercising all the time, so that he can't do his college work and can't see his friends, but then he's doing enough to be able to do it as quick as possible, but also do the work and see his friends and stuff like that. And it's good that he's already doing weights, as that's what you do to build the muscle, of course. As he prefers team sports, I'd probably recommend that it's better to train with somebody rather than doing it by himself. With the nutrition, he said he didn't have a balanced diet and sometimes eats his 5 a day, which I suppose is okay with 5 a day, but he should always be doing that. He said he eats more ready meals and sometimes fast food, which isn't great, to be honest. And he said he wasn't vegetarian, pescatarian, vegan, which is good, so it won't affect his muscle building with the diet side of things. He has no food allergies and drinks 1 to 4 cups of water average a day, which is good, but it should be higher than that. And he doesn't have a religion that affects his eating at all, which is good. So to be able to get where he wants to be, he needs to consume more clean calories to be able to build the muscle. So that would mean he would have to cut out the ready meals and fast food and have more cooked meals rather than the fast food and the ready meals. So it's healthier for you and it's better rather than having like all the bad calories in the fast food and the ready meals. And he needs to consume more water and not have any other drinks apart from maybe a protein shake after a workout to help the process of building the muscle. And with his lifestyle, he said he smokes 5 to 6 times a week socially, not just by himself. And he drinks occasionally at parties, which is okay. Then he gets 8+ hours sleep, which is really good. Then he said he doesn't drink coffee and doesn't get stressed, which is also pretty good. And then doesn't feel energized in the mornings. So I recommend that he would stop smoking completely. Like, first of all, because it's just terrible for you, and plus it's going to help make the process of like becoming fitter and building the muscle a lot easily. Then he must stop drinking to put on the calories, because that's just going to make the process longer rather than shorter, as he's going to have to burn off that extra weight that he's put on. And it's good that he gets a good enough amount of sleep. And in his physical health, he said he has no past injuries, surgery, or any current injuries, or is not on a medication, which is perfect. So then went on to specific things he can improve on. His physical activity levels, as I said beforehand, he exercises 0 to 2 times a week, doesn't exercise as much due to college, and he prefers team sports. Well, with strategies to help this, he could train 4 to 5 times a week doing HIIT training and strength training. HIIT training will burn the fat off quickly, and with the strength training it's going to build the muscle quickly also, so which will be pretty good and beneficial towards his goal. He needs to come up with a timetable, like I said beforehand, to balance the college and friends and exercise. And he just needs to exercise with someone to make the experience more enjoyable. Otherwise, he's not going to like it, and he's most likely going to pull out and not achieve what he wants to in the time he does. Then went on to lifestyle. He smokes, as I said, 5 to 6 times a week, and drinks and gets a good amount of sleep as well. He needs to cut out smoking completely, but to do this in stages, he could go down to an e-cigarette or a vape to help the process, or he could also maybe get some nicotine patches, then stop smoking to make the process a bit easier for him. With also the alcohol, it's a lot easier to do because it's not addictive like smoking is, so it would just be easy to cut out the alcohol to stop putting on unnecessary calories. It's perfect that he gets the amount of sleep. Then went on to nutrition. He said he didn't have a balanced diet, sometimes has 5 a day, and eats ready meals and fast food. So our strategies towards this could be looking up specific diet plans for muscle building. So this would give him good guidelines as to what food he should be consuming every day for like breakfast, lunch and dinner, but he should probably also be adding in an extra meal due to what he wants to achieve, which is the muscle mass building. So he needs to be consuming more protein, so like every day, rather than having less of that and snacking. So maybe having 4 meals would be better. So with the 5 a day, he can link it into his diet plan so that he's consuming his 5 a day pretty much almost every day, which would be good. And with his eating ready meals or fast foods, he needs to cut those out, of course. But because he mentioned in the talk with me, he can't do it because of time. So what I was thinking, he was pre-make cooked meals. So he would make a big batch for the whole week, then store them in the fridge. So when he's ready to have those meals, he can get them out, quickly heat them up, then they're ready, rather than going through the process of making an individual meal every day, which is more time consuming. Rather, he can just get it out the way completely for a week and have more time to what he needs to do with college or working out and stuff like that. Then we looked at his physical health, and with his heart rate, he achieved a good result. He just needs to keep on doing what he's doing. He has a probably good one due to a past of exercise even regularly with the football and stuff like that. So with the exercising, his heart rate will just get better and better. With blood pressure, he got 129/65. He needs to exercise more to improve his blood pressure. So with the plan that he's going to go through with, this will help this come through to be a better result. With his BMI, it was healthy at 18.5. This will increase and say that he'll be overweight due to the more muscle he puts on, meaning that because the BMI doesn't account muscle mass, it like extra muscle mass. So if you were to do a BMI test for most athletes, they would be considered as overweight due to the amount of muscle they have. So it's not going to say that, it's going to say he's unhealthy, but physically and looking at him, he won't due to what he's going to be doing. And with his lung function, he got a 500, which is slightly under for the average of his age and height, probably due to his past of smoking and his current smoking, but he needs to stop smoking to improve this result if he wants to, and probably should, to be honest. And with his waist to hip ratio, it's very good, it was acceptable, and should be even better during the process of what he wants to achieve when he does his muscle mass, because it will start to show throughout the process.